The Coinbase stock just made a very interesting move. But is it finally the start or the beginning of a new uptrend, or are investors just chasing another temporary crypto rally? We're gonna find out today, guys. But I already made a complete fundamental Coinbase thesis video in my previous video. I'm gonna link it up here. You need to watch it, guys. But today I'll give you only 1 minute of new fundamental information, and then we'll jump directly into the chart, guys. Coinbase recently reported approximately $1.2 billion in second quarter revenue, including $555 million from subscriptions and services. And even more interesting, approximately 88% of its revenue came from products other than Bitcoin spot trading. This shows that Coinbase is becoming increasingly diversified and less dependent on people who are simply buying and selling Bitcoin. However, consumer trading activity weakened. Transaction revenue declined, and Coinbase reported a quarterly net loss, helping to create that correction we are analyzing today, guys. We have also an important update on the Clarity Act. The legislation has already passed the House, but is still not law yet. The major next step is an expected Senate cloture vote on September 15th, which could move the bill towards final consideration. That's very important. The House did its job, but the Senate didn't. They still haven't moved this bill forward, and they should have voted on it before leaving for the August recess. Anyway, guys, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong believes there's enough bipartisan support to secure the required votes, while President Trump has publicly urged the Congress to pass a fair version of the legislation. That gives Coinbase a potentially powerful regulatory catalyst, but positive news doesn't automatically mean that the stock is a great buy. So let's dive directly into the chart and determine whether Coinbase has actually confirmed a turnaround and where we have a good entry point. So let's move into the chart, guys. Right now we are in the weekly chart of Coinbase. Just to give you a quick and dirty overlook over the big picture, the important key and resistant level, and later on we're gonna jump into the daily chart to give you possible entry points and some position management tips how you could handle this position. So let's start off here with a very important key support level. I mentioned that level here before in my previous video from June 22nd. I'm gonna link it up on the upper right corner again, the video. It's very important to watch this video too. So over here is the $144. So we had a few touch points or touchdowns, how I call it over here. And until the latest video or the last video in June, we had 4 touchdowns on this level, and right now we have 2 more over here and over here. What we're gonna see in a few seconds or in a minute in the daily chart, and that makes this level even more important. So the $115 is a very important level, but this level here was all those touchdowns. $144, $145 is a very important support key level. Over here, we have an important resistance level. Like you can see in the chart over here, that's the $215 level. And if we lift this level, we have the $400 like a next target, and then we have the all-time highs, the latest all-time highs at $445 roundabout. So on this trade up there, we're gonna watch right now in the daily chart. This was just the big picture. Okay, come on, let's move over to the daily chart. Right now we are in the daily chart of Coinbase, and let's take a look at the latest 2 touchdowns or touch points of the key support level over here. Remember, over here, this level here in this red in this yellow circle here. We had it already before in the video, in the previous video. But over here, in the end of June and beginning of July, we got one more touchdown. And over here, at the end of July and the beginning of August, or all through the August until mid-August, we had more touchdowns over here and at the $144 level. Let's say 145, it's easier. So it's a very, very important support level. And right now, because of news, etc., we got a strong up move, gap up, and then we got the next candle from last Friday. And what I'm looking is the volume. Down here, we have like the average volume and the actual volume, and the actual volume of from Friday alone is basically 2.5 times higher than the average volume. That looks very promising. And this level for you guys, I'm already in, but for you guys, this resistance level here on $215 more or less is very important for you. For the entry, I would wait until this level got lifted by the market at 225 more or less. And let's look in the back how important that level is. Over here, it was also a very important breakout level back on May the 8th of 2025 over here. So it's not a random level, it's a very important level. So if you break out over this level, so we have the way open to the $400 level. Also, the 200-day moving average is still a resistance because we are below the 200-day moving average. So if you lift this moving average above the moving average, the 200-day moving average, and this level, the way is open to the $400. And right now we talk about how you could enter the trade possibly. And remind guys, this is not a financial advice, just to giving you ideas and what you should avoid if you do the trade. So let's say this market, this market keeps moving parabolic since Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we have a breakout that's pretty aggressive. Let's go to my arrow, and we break out over this important level over here without any correction. So we break out over this level 215 without any correction. Then you shouldn't play the breakout trade. Then you should wait for just simply the pullback to the level. And from there, you can find a turnaround signal on a lower time frame to just move upwards on the market. And then we have the way open until 400. And from there on, we might have on the way some corrections. And then if you break this level, the $400 level, the next target is the 445, the all-time highs. I'm not sure if the stock is able to break out over the all-time highs, but the 400 is a minimum target that we should reach with high probability, then the all-time highs at least for the next. So what you should avoid, I told you already, if the stock is moving, keeps moving parabolic like right now, avoid to trade the direct breakout. So just take another case. Let's say the market is moving onto the resistance level over here, the 215. Maybe it scratches the level a little bit, and then we get a little correction over here. Then you can trade out of the correction, but it would be a little bit too early to be on the safe side. Wait until the breakout, then you can trade the direct breakout. And for your position management, I would set your stop loss on 135. That's below this important key support level. Visuals for you how a long position could look like. Let's say over here, the entry at 225, your stop loss down below, and your target price, your minimum target is up here. So we're going to have a risk reward ratio from 1.95. That means barely a risk reward from 1 to 2. That means you risk $100 and win $200. So that's a very, very good ratio. And if you pull it up until the all-time highs, the risk reward ratio even goes to 2.42, barely 2.5. So that's a really good risk reward ratio, like you see over here in the middle. Just an example how it would look like, guys. So right now, let's go back to the video. So here we are again. So Coinbase is showing the first signs of a potential turnaround, but the confirmation from the chart is what matters now. So watch the key support and resistance level we discussed, and don't chase the stock after a strong move. So just wait for a good entry point. The better opportunity will come either through a confirmed breakout or a controlled pullback into the support, guys. So the fundamentals provide the catalyst, but the chart determines the entry, guys. So don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next video. Peace out. Sascha.